National Security Minister Hermangild Francis says the Impacs investigation will be resolved by the Director of Public Prosecution before the next general election. Senator Francis made this disclosure during an appearance on the talk show Police Insight on NBC television on Tuesday night. The now ill-fated Operation Restore Confidence resulted in the deaths of suspects at the hands of the police in 2010-2011 and the subsequent imposition of the withdrawal of U.S. security assistance in 2013 under the Leahy Law. An investigation which was carried out by CARICOM Impacs into the shootings, with members of the Jamaica Constabulary at the forefront, culminated in 2015. Francis explains that the constitutionally protected office of the DPP will decide the probative value of Impacs.
Do you foresee some of our colleagues facing the courts?
But again, and persons, I said that once, that what the Americans were saying is that they wanted prosecution. Okay? But the Americans can't dictate exactly what you do to them. The DPP is a constitutional position, and no minister of government, no prime minister, nobody can tell him exactly what to do. So what he will do is to, when he gets all the evidence and he is satisfied that he can proceed, he will proceed. If he thinks that the evidence is insufficient for a prosecution, then he will not press. And I can tell you, well, whether the Americans are happy or not with that decision, we would have to live with it, because that is our constitution and we must adhere to what our constitution says.
Senator Francis claims that the authorities encountered difficulty in obtaining documents and statements on the probe from the investigators in Jamaica.
Our Honorable Prime Minister, Alan Shasney, spoke to his counterpart in Jamaica and said, we have this case and we need to deal with it. Can we have the statements and so on? I can send a police officer up to collect it and so on. Prime Minister promised that he would speak to the investigators, Watkins and so on. And then at the end of the day, the Prime Minister couldn't help him. We didn't, but I didn't take that to be the end. I went up to Jamaica together with ACP, DCP, O'Brien, and I made an appointment to see my counterpart in Jamaica. He came to see me at the hotel and we spoke. And he told me that his Prime Minister had spoken to him about getting these statements from Watkins. And Watkins was adamant that even if they fired him, he was not going to give the statements.
I see.
So we never got the statements. Okay? And at the end of the day, we had to start the process all over.
But the security minister gave assurances that work is being done in the background.
So what did we do? We removed at least 3 or 4 police officers from the police force. There was a MOU, Memorandum of Understanding between the Commissioner and the DPP's office, and we sent these officers there. They are not working directly with the DPP. They are at different locations and they report to me.
Okay.
Okay. On occasions, I will then discuss with the DPP. So that is what has happened. We had to start the whole process. Okay. Lately, I had to call a contingent from Barbados to come in and do some investigations in the ORB. That has been done. So work is going on, and I am sure that at the end of the day, before the next election, that we would have done something in relation to the Impacs report.
The CARICOM Impacs probe was activated following the suspension of U.S. security assistance to the Royal Saint Lucia Police Force in 2013 due to alleged extra-judicial killings during 2010-2011. The team, which comprised 8 investigators including a ballistics expert, a legal advisor, a data entry specialist, a cybercrime analyst, and detective investigators, got to work in 2014. Then Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony, in a March 8, 2015 address to the nation, disclosed that the probe concluded that the killings under review were unlawful. Moreover, he said the investigators recommended the prosecution of the officers involved in the deaths. The Kenny Anthony-led SLP administration was swept out of office in 2016, with the incoming government of Alan Shasney's UWP vowing to address the fallout of Impacs. Attorney-at-Law Dazarian Green, who was appointed Director of Public Prosecutions in October 2016, is tasked with resolving the controversial cases. Colby DeVoe, HTS News Force.